Our next presenter is Dr. Sondos Zayed, and they will be presenting on evaluating the Oncologic Research Internship, ORION, during the COVID-19 pandemic, a comparison of virtual and in-person iterations.
Thank you for the introduction. I have no conflicts of interest to declare. In 1999, Dr. Rosenberg published an article entitled "The Physician Scientist, an Essential and Fragile Link in the Medical Research Chain," where he asked why the number of physician scientists was declining at the very time that their scientific opportunities were greater than ever before. And he postulated that there were progressively fewer young MDs that were interested in or perhaps prepared for careers as independent investigators. And this could be due to limited access to projects or limited exposure to clinical research. And in order to address these two gaps, the ORION program, or the Oncology Research Internship program, was created in 2018. Now, the in-person iteration of this program was presented at ASTRO 2019, and essentially this program allows a medical student to write a case report under the supervision of a resident mentor, both of whom are supervised by a staff oncologist who provides the case report. Now, like many other scholarly activities, the ORION program had to be halted and or adapted significantly to the context of the COVID-19 pandemic. And the objective of what we're presenting today is to report the results of the first virtual program adapted to the COVID-19 pandemic and to compare participant feedback to the previous in-person iterations. Applications were open to first and second year medical students. 3 physicians reviewed and scored applications independently. Successful medical students applicants were paired with volunteer resident supervisors, and a staff oncologist supervising them both provided the case for publication. Previously, all mentorship meetings and presentations were in person, and for the adapted virtual ORION program, all meetings were conducted remotely, and each medical student delivered a live virtual oral presentation at the end of the program. Resident and medical student participants completed questionnaires pre and post-program, and survey results from this virtual and previous in-person programs were compared. We had a record high of 54 applications. Generally, we receive approximately 30 every year. 9 residents volunteered for this, including 6 rad-onc, 2 med-onc, and 1 pathology resident, and 9 medical students were selected through application process, 3 first year and 6 second year. 9 manuscripts were completed in total. 1 was already been published and 2 are currently under review. We had a 100% survey response rate for residents and an 89% response rate for medical students. On average, most medical students felt comfortable completing a clinical research project, with 22% strongly agreeing and 62.5% agreeing for the virtual program, compared to 25% and 75% for the in-person program. Most medical students also felt comfortable writing a case report, with 50% strongly agreeing and 50% agreeing for the virtual program, compared to 75% and 25% for the in-person program. Most medical students felt ORION contributed to their career goals, with 100% agreement for the virtual program and 88% agreement for the in-person program. All medical students felt comfortable giving an oral presentation by the end. All medical students felt comfortable teaching another medical student to complete a case report. And medical students unanimously agreed that ORION was a beneficial experience. For residents, most felt comfortable supervising a research project, with 67% strongly agreeing and 22% agreeing for the virtual program, compared to 33% and 67% for the in-person program. Most residents also felt comfortable reviewing manuscripts, with 56% strongly agreeing and 33% agreeing for the virtual program, compared to 33% and 50% for the in-person program. Most residents also felt comfortable providing constructive feedback to trainees, with 67% strongly agreeing and 33% agreeing for the virtual program compared to 17% and 67% for the in-person program. Some of the feedback that we've received from medical students for this remote iteration of the ORION program included the following: the mentorship. My mentors created a very comfortable environment where it felt like the true goal was to learn. And so another medical student stated that they would have really liked to be able to meet, present, and network in person. In 2021, Spirit All published an article describing what it means to have a successful virtual research experience. And one of the key characteristics of that was first engaging mentees in goal setting. And the ORION program did that at the beginning of the program by having the medical student, resident, and supervising oncologist sign a contract setting goals for the entire duration of the program. The second key characteristic of a successful virtual research experience was engaging mentees in all aspects of the research. And the way that ORION did that was for the medical students, a literature review workshop that was given by a librarian at the beginning of the program. And for residents, a mentorship workshop that was geared towards the ORION program, also done at the beginning of the program. Limitations of the study include that, this is a small sample size comparison to a historical cohort. Residents had variable levels of experience with research mentorship, and variable medical student research experience and interest in oncology could have also influenced survey results. In conclusion, compared to the previous in-person program, the virtual ORION program retained strongly favorable ratings from both medical students and residents alike. And in the future, the adoption of scholarly and mentorship programs to a virtual setting can certainly be done, across specialties and across institutions, especially if in-person interactions are not feasible. Thank you, and I'm happy to take any questions.